All right, so welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive with us. Today, we're going to be breaking down Arsenal's 2-0 win over Manchester United. And, this wasn't just any victory. This match really highlighted how Arteta has turned Arsenal into, like, set-piece masters, turning corner kicks into a real source of danger. And we've got the highlights and some expert analysis to help us dissect this match, especially for those of you out there who are looking to understand how Arteta's Arsenal operates and whether Amorim can turn things around at United.
Yeah, it's remarkable how they've transformed something as seemingly straightforward as a corner kick into such a weapon. And what's really interesting is that this isn't about luck. It's a calculated strategy that's been paying off big time for them.
Yeah, let's set the scene a little bit. Going into this match, Arsenal were already on a roll looking to capitalize on Liverpool's slip-up, while United, under Amorim, were still trying to find their rhythm after a rough start to the season. Right from kickoff, you can see the contrast in approaches. Arteta's Arsenal were all about controlling the ball, with Declan Rice pulling the strings in the midfield.
Yeah, and that's where Arteta's tactical imprint is so evident. They move the ball with precision, waiting for an opening. But United were incredibly disciplined on defense, making it really difficult for Arsenal to create anything clear-cut in open play.
Yeah, it was a fascinating tactical battle, almost like a game of chess unfolding on the pitch. And the tension wasn't just on the field, you could see it on the sidelines too. Arteta, as always, was the picture of composure, while Amorim was clearly feeling the pressure, especially with United's struggles to transition quickly from defense to attack.
Right, you have to remember the context here. Amorim is tasked with reviving a club with the history and the expectations of Manchester United. I mean, every match is scrutinized, every result dissected.
Exactly. And it was a set piece, not some fancy footwork that broke the deadlock. In the 54th minute, Rice delivers a perfect corner kick, finding Timber at the near post. And Timber heads it home for his first Premier League goal for Arsenal.
And that goal, it's not an isolated incident. It really underlines Arsenal's strategic focus on set pieces. This is something they've clearly been working on meticulously, and it's paying dividends.
Yeah, it's like they've turned corner kicks into a science. Just minutes after Timber's goal, another Rice corner throws United's defense into complete chaos, leading to a desperate goal line clearance. It felt like every corner was a real threat.
It really was, and the numbers back it up. They've scored an incredible 22 goals from corners since last season. In modern football, where the margins of victory are so slim, that kind of efficiency can be absolutely game-changing.
But it wasn't like United were just sitting back. Diogo Dalot nearly opened the scoring in the first half with a powerful shot that only just missed David Raya's goal.
You're absolutely right. They had their moments. However, those moments were few and far between. It was almost as if their attack lacked a certain cohesiveness, a real cutting edge, whether that's a personnel issue, a formation problem, or simply a lack of confidence. That's something Amorim needs to figure out.
And it was shortly after Timber's goal that Arsenal struck again.
From a corner yet again.
You got it. This time it's Saka sending in a dangerous corner. Partey gets ahead on it. The ball deflects off Saliba and into the back of the net. Officially an own goal, but another example of Arsenal's aerial dominance from a corner.
And it's not just about the goals themselves, it's about the psychological impact of these set-piece goals. They put points on the board, and they chip away at the morale of the opposition.
United did try to rally back a bit. Onana pulled off some excellent saves, and even Matthijs de Ligt forced Raya into action with a late header. But overall, you got to say their attack just didn't seriously threaten Arsenal's goal.
Yeah.
The post-match reactions really underlined the difference in emotions. You had Arsenal fans absolutely ecstatic, seeing their title hooks becoming more and more real. While United supporters, though obviously disappointed, were maybe holding on to a sliver of hope that Amorim can turn things around.
It's interesting, because when you look at United's performance, they actually were very solid defensively when it came to open play. I mean, they managed to stifle Arsenal's creativity for long stretches, limiting their chances. But when it came to those set pieces, they just seemed to switch off. They lost track of their runners, misjudged the flight of the ball. And against a side like Arsenal, those lapses in concentration are brutally punished.
Yeah, which makes you wonder, is this purely a mental thing? Or is it more about a lack of communication and practice when it comes to defending those specific scenarios?
It could be a combination of factors. Perhaps there's a bit of a mental block, a lingering fear from previous encounters. But there's definitely a tactical element as well. They need to work on their zonal marking, their positioning, and their reactions to the ball in the air. Amorim needs to address this quickly, because if they can shore up their defense on set pieces, they become a much tougher proposition.
For sure. Speaking of standout displays, Saliba and Timber were absolutely immense at the back for Arsenal. They were like rocks.
Saliba especially has blossomed into one of the league's premier center backs. He's strong, athletic, reads the game incredibly well, and his partnership with Timber is proving very effective. Timber, despite being relatively new to the Premier League, has slotted in seamlessly.
Yeah, it's his versatility that's so valuable to Arteta. He can play comfortably at right back or center back.
Yeah.
And he's so calm and composed on the ball, you can see why Arteta was so keen to bring him to the Emirates.
Absolutely. And on the other side, I thought Onana deserves some credit. He made a few crucial saves, especially in that second half when the pressure was mounting. He couldn't have done anything about the goals. But he showed his quality and kept the scoreline from getting truly out of hand.
Oh, he's world class. There's no doubt about that. But let's zoom out and talk about the bigger picture for a moment. What does this win mean for Arsenal's title aspirations?
This win was a real statement. They're not just pretenders, they're genuine contenders. The fact that they can grind out results even when they're not firing on all cylinders is a testament to their mentality. Their defensive strength is obvious. But what makes them so dangerous is this newfound mastery of set pieces.
Right. And that leads to the question, is it sustainable? Can Arsenal really rely on set pieces as a primary source of goals throughout the season?
It's a valid question. They can't afford to become predictable, but as long as they keep diversifying their attacking threats, keep executing those routines with such precision, it'll be a potent weapon.
And for United, this has to be a bit of a reality check. They're clearly a work in progress under Amorim.
Absolutely. They're not there yet. But we did see glimpses of what they could become. Their defensive organization in open play was promising. The key for Amorim will be figuring out how to translate that defensive solidity into attacking threat. Right now, they're struggling to consistently create high-quality chances, and that needs to change if they want a challenge for a top-4 spot.
We saw how Arteta was so calm and collected on the touchline, whereas Amorim had a more energetic, demanding style.
Yeah, it's a fascinating contrast in styles. Arteta is almost like a chess grandmaster, carefully plotting each move, while Amorim is more like a conductor trying to orchestrate a symphony of attacking football. It'll be fascinating to see how their respective approaches evolve over the course of the season. And speaking of evolution, we have to talk about the evolution of Arsenal's attack. While set pieces are grabbing the headlines, we can't overlook the improvements they've made in open play. They're moving the ball with more purpose. Their interplay is sharper. And they're creating more chances from open play than they did last season.
Yeah, it's almost as if they've added another dimension to their game, which makes them an even more formidable opponent. You're right, we can't just focus on those set-piece goals. We have to acknowledge the progress they've made in building a more well-rounded attacking unit. And, a key factor in their recent success has been the impact of Declan Rice. He's been absolutely immense in that midfield role.
He's been a revelation. His ability to control the tempo breakup play and distribute the ball accurately has been crucial to Arsenal's dominance in midfield.
Yeah.
He's added a level of steel and composure that was perhaps missing in previous seasons.
And let's not forget his leadership qualities.
Yeah.
He seems to have settled into that captain's role seamlessly. And his influence on the younger players is evident. He's a true leader on and off the pitch.
Yeah, his presence has also allowed Martin Ødegaard to flourish in a more advanced role. And we're seeing the best of the Norwegian playmaker. He's got that creative spark, and he's finding the back of the net more regularly.
It's almost like Rice has unlocked another level in Ødegaard's game, giving him the freedom to express himself further up the pitch. And when you have those two pulling the strings with the likes of Saka and Gabriel Jesus providing the cutting edge in attack, it's a potent mix.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the contribution of Gabriel Martinelli. He provides that raw pace and directness that can stretch defenses. And he's also developed a good understanding with Saka on that left flank.
They've got so many attacking options, and they're all clicking at the moment. It's a joy to watch. But let's not get carried away just yet. There's a long way to go in the season, and there will be twists and turns along the way.
No doubt about that. But Arsenal have certainly sent a message to the rest of the league. They're here to stay. And they're serious contenders for the title.
This match wasn't just about the goals, though. It really showcased the contrasting personalities and tactical approaches of these two managers. Arteta's so calm and composed, and Amorim so energetic and demanding. It'll be intriguing to follow their journeys throughout the season.
It will be fascinating. And for United, it's clear they have a lot of work to do. But there's potential there. And if Amorim can unlock it, they could still be a force to be reckoned with. But for now, the spotlight is firmly on Arsenal.
They've got the momentum, the belief, and the tactical nows to mount a serious title challenge. And with their set-piece mastery, adding another layer of threat. They're a team that no one will want to face right now. Before we get into the final takeaways, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the mental side of the game.
Ah, the psychological battle. It's often overlooked, but it can be just as important as the tactical battle.
Yeah, it really highlights the complexity and the layers of this beautiful game. As we wrap up our deep dive into this match, we want to bring you, the listener, into the conversation. What aspects of this match really grabbed your attention? What questions are still swirling around in your head?
For me, one of the biggest takeaways has to be the tactical evolution of this Arsenal side under Arteta. They've become so much more than just a team that's good at set pieces. I mean, their build-up play is fluid, they press with intensity, and their movement off the ball is intelligent and coordinated. They've become a truly complete team.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I was thinking along similar lines. Well, we've talked a lot about those set pieces, and rightly so, their overall performance was really impressive. They controlled the tempo of the game, suffocated United's attacks, and created several chances from open play. It wasn't a fluke victory. They thoroughly deserved the win.
Absolutely. And I think it's a testament to the work Arteta has done over the past few seasons. He's built a team with a clear identity, a team that's capable of playing attractive, attacking football, but also a team that's defensively solid and can grind out results when needed.
Which brings us to the question we've been pondering throughout this episode. Is this Arsenal team the real deal? Are they genuine title contenders?
Based on what we've seen so far this season, I'd say they're absolutely in the mix. They have the quality, the depth, and the tactical flexibility to challenge for the title. But it's a long season, and there will be bumps along the way. How they respond to those challenges, how they deal with injuries and fatigue, that'll be the true test of their championship credentials.
Yeah, it's almost like they found a new level of maturity this season. Both individually and collectively, they seem to have a greater understanding of Arteta's system. They're making better decisions on the pitch. They're showing a resilience that perhaps wasn't there in previous seasons.
Yeah, I think that resilience is key. They don't panic when things aren't going their way. And they have the belief that they can find a solution. And that's a hallmark of championship winning teams.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be fascinating to see how this Arsenal team continues to evolve and whether they can maintain this level of performance throughout the season. We'll be watching closely, and we'll be back to dissect more key matches and tactical battles as the season unfolds. But for now, we want to hear from you, our listener. What are your thoughts on Arsenal's title chances? What impressed you most about their performance in this match? Share your insights, and let's continue the conversation. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.